Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
I almost said good morning, and then it's
Gonna
not.
throw us off doing this in the afternoon.
Yeah, on a
You're
Wednesday. Who are we?
eating some fries because
Listen.
this is the first thing I've eaten today.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
pretty
a
much. Well,
long
no,
fast.
lie. That's a lie. Straight up lie.
Okay.
I had a Fairlife shake and I had a granola bar
You're like I had a 3-course
and I
breakfast.
had a yogurt. I don't know why I just said that.
It's-
It feels like the first thing I've eaten today, but I haven't eaten much. I'll
There's
leave it
a
at that.
movie with Amy Schumer and it's not Will Arnett. It's another actor who used to be on SNL. And she's like, I'm just feeling like really hungry. And he's like, oh, what'd you eat? And she's like listing all these things. Like, I just like a little egg bite from McDonald's and then a chicken sandwich. And then and it's like just barely even like a granola and yogurt. And like she's going on and on. He's like, yeah, let's go eat. He's like, you're starving.
That's awesome.
Speaking of fasting, yesterday, I had to get blood work because the hormone doctor that I'm seeing is doing pellets next week.
Okay.
And so I have to do blood work a week ahead. So
Is it a quarterly thing?
It basically, yeah,
Okay.
it is. So on Monday morning, I went to a lab place to get blood work done, and I walked in and it was crowded. It was like going to be a 2-hour wait. So, dang it. And I had fasted. I hadn't had any coffee in the morning. So I was like, okay, I'll make an appointment. And so I made an appointment for Tuesday morning. So then same thing. I fasted. I get there on Tuesday, just as crowded.
Really?
And even though I had an appointment, I still waited over an hour and a half.
Oh my gosh.
So, I'm saying that, but I also wasn't like dying of hunger and thirst. It was just more of a pain that I had to,
I don't know if you know this about me, but I hate giving blood.
Oh, really?
Mainly because I have bad veins. And every time I have to give blood, which for some reason it feels like it's been a lot lately.
Yeah.
They can't find a vein.
Oh.
And usually, so it'll like the doctor will try it. They'll poke me like 3 or 4 different times. They'll try both arms.
What?
They cannot get a vein. I ended up getting sent to a different place who's, to a LabCorp or whatever.
Yeah.
And they usually will get it after a few tries. But every time I have to give blood, it's like 5+ pricks in my arm.
No.
It's horrible.
That is awful.
It's awful.
Do you do a lot of hydrating the day before?
I drink a ton of water. It's a family thing. So my grandma, I know it comes from my grandma.
Yeah.
Like I think it's called varicose veins.
Oh, okay.
Where you just like your veins are not visible. So yeah, I've always been jealous of
veins are visible.
Are they? I don't know. Actually, that could be totally wrong. I've just heard that term.
Okay.
I have bad veins.
Bad veins.
Yeah,
That's what
I've always been jealous of guys that are muscular and super like vascular. Like there's the veins everywhere. Like that'll never be me.
No, and honestly, I don't know.
Not for you.
It's not my. Chatterston has them, so I won't. I love him. It's great. Yeah. No,
he's so proud of his veins.
So proud. What is that even? What's the?
I don't know. It adds to the muscular look.
Veins popping. That's fine.
I know because they're bad veins.
It's bad veins, guys.
Oh, the name of the episode. Bad veins.
We nailed it. Okay. Well, all right. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. I was telling you before we started, I'm a little bit like, for some reason, a little raw today.
Yeah.
A little bit like.
This is going to be a real one.
Emotional. I don't know why. I'm just feeling a little like overwhelmed and overloaded today, which I was saying is a bummer because I just came back from like a vacation. So
Isn't
like
that funny?
I should feel better. I should feel refreshed and like ready to go, but I just don't today. So
I actually think sometimes too that exaggerates things.
Yeah.
Like, so not to go super dark, but the thought that popped into my head is how many suicides we have in the summer here because people think when the sun comes out, I'll feel better. And they actually don't. And that's like a thing. So you think like in the dark months of winter here in the Pacific Northwest, that would be when we struggle the most. But it's actually when the sun comes out and people realize like, oh, I'm still unhappy.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's
similarly, I mean, a lot of people when they will like achieve some large amount of, like they become a billionaire, or like they achieve some huge milestone, they'll also commit suicide because they realize that like the thing they thought would fulfill them doesn't.
Right.
So that's not how I'm feeling at all right
I know.
now. Just
we're going real dark. Yeah.
Just to be clear, I'm feeling burnt out.
Okay.
Which should not be a feeling after a vacation, but it is. And I'm working on it. I made a list on the walk earlier of like areas I want to focus on that are like I feel like I can add a lot of value in my life and it can bring in income, and then areas I want to like pull back from a little bit. So because I just feel like I'm spread thin right now and I'm not able to give my all to anything, and that's just not a great feeling.
Yeah.
So.
I think that's so great. I love that you already put something into action as far as a list of things. I was telling you, I feel a little bit like scattered. Like my brain just feels like it's holding so much information.
Yeah.
And yesterday in particular was one of those days where, so I said I went to go do blood work in the morning, and then it ended up taking an hour and a half. So I was there for almost 2 hours, and that just kind of derailed my morning. And then I came here and I was going to work on something, and I had to scan paperwork, and the scanner was broken.
Oh man.
So it was like those little, I mean, these are first world problems. I'm getting blood work for my testosterone pellets that are an elective. Like it's nothing, like I know I'm surrounded by people that are probably going through scary things. My scanner, it worked today. It was fine. But I just I was letting these little things, and then everything I did felt a little bit rushed and felt just like I was late to things. And that was just kind of summed up how I was feeling in general. Just
totally.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When it's one thing after another, that is hard. Any individual things like that happen, you can just kind of get past.
Yeah.
When there's a day when it's 3 or more things like that. Like the other day I was having I think I got there's an offer that I submitted for a client that didn't get accepted, and then something else happened at work, and then my TikTok account got hacked. What? And there's just all this weird stuff back to back. I'm just oh my gosh, I'm just gonna go to bed.
How does that? What happened with TikTok? I'm curious.
I can't get access to it. Somebody somehow, I got an email saying that the phone number on it was changed.
Yeah.
So then I tried to log in, and they changed the phone number, the email, the authenticator app.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's my personal. So it's not our joint account that has a decent following at this point. Yeah. It's my new personal account that I created.
Okay, yeah.
But still, it's I posted a lot on it, so I'm trying. I can't get access to it. I've been trying for a week and a half to get access.
Weird.
To it.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Happy episode 60.
60.
I think that's a diamond anniversary. Is what I looked up. Yep.
Oh, well done.
So
here's your
research.
I have
something for you. I'm just kidding. I don't have something.
What if? You shouldn't have. As I
diamond bracelet.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm not a big diamond gal.
Yeah,
I gotta be honest.
Not a jewelry person at all.
I wouldn't hate, hint, a new ring, something a little just classy.
Yeah,
but
how much people are spending on rings these days? Wedding rings.
Is it a genuine question? I have no clue.
It's crazy.
Is it?
Yeah.
Like what?
This is. Do you know how much?
Tens of thousands.
Yeah.
Tens of thousands.
Average, probably. Of the friends that I've asked who've gotten engaged, average price point for an engagement ring or wedding ring is about $15,000. There's this thing going around in the circles of it's supposed to be 1/3 of your annual salary. You're supposed to the man is supposed to spend on the wedding ring, which
who has
insane
capacity for that?
I don't know who actually I don't know where that came from, but that's maybe something that the ring industry is pushing on people. You got to spend 1/3 of your income, which I don't know of anybody who spent that much, but still, I know people who spent $40,000 on a wedding ring. Crazy.
Was that considered 1/3 of their income?
That one might have been, but
what?
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't it crazy?
You've got some well-off friends.
But it's the thing that is weird is when it's a friend group. Once there's this expectation that gets created.
I'm nervous about that,
which is not great.
I don't love that.
Yeah,
there's something actually to that. I was reading this really quick article, and maybe even an Instagram post. So when I say article, don't get the impression that I'm reading anything, whatever. Anyways, it was an interview. It was
a scholarly article at the Harvard Business School.
Yeah. There was a study in Canada around who is the most stressed generation, and it was people in their 40s in Canada, and they called it the sandwich generation. And it's because they are no longer dependent on family. Mm-hmm. They actually are now raising a family. So there's kids, and there's all the sports and the schools and the extracurriculars. Then they're sandwiched with their parents, where now you start to get where now you're caring maybe for your parents, or you're helping, the next stage of their life. So you're in the middle, and they were saying almost 50% were living paycheck to paycheck.
Wow.
And a lot of them felt that they hadn't hit major life milestones. They didn't go into detail, but I'm assuming things like maybe buying homes or getting married, certain things that you would consider a major life milestone, having kids because of financial stress. And so that idea of being in that sandwiched season of life was the most overwhelming. And I read it, and I'm not in the place where I'm caring for my parents, but definitely can relate to that pressure of, it feels like there's times where we should be further along in life. That we, I don't know, should have more, should be doing more, or have a bigger number in our account, whatever it may be. And it's really stressful when you are, and then if you're surrounded by other people
Yeah.
that feel like they're in that place,
Yeah.
and you're like, gosh, dang it,
Yeah.
it's stressful.
I wonder
So
how much that feeling has to do with like social media and seeing people
Totally.
who live their like. Yeah, I mean, there's. I like when people showcase like their success, but it also it can like I don't know. There's I don't like the word flaunt, but some people like are if I don't know. I'm trying to say it right now.
like, is there like a like it something where it's not maybe real, or are you saying like, is the pressure because now we're seeing it more?
Totally.
Like we're exposed to it more?
I think a lot of people are open on social media about how much they make on their real estate deals or their investments or whatever, which is great because it's like educational. But just seeing that and like from a psychological standpoint, it's like it's hard to see somebody else who's achieved way more than you have. Like it's a weird feeling. It's a weird you just feel like I just turned 30 and I see other people who are 30 and what they've achieved by now. And I know I've achieved a good amount by 30, but still just like there's this comparison game with social media that's probably not healthy for any of us.
Yeah. I feel like I'm pretty fortunate with our like closest friend group right now, where it's like we feel like we're in the same financial boats.
Yeah.
I think it would be really hard if I was in a group where there was such a distinction.
Yeah.
They would be like, oh, we're flying here this weekend.
Right.
Do you want to go? And like just not being able to maintain something like that.
Yeah.
So I do think when you go back to that whole comment about like with friends and setting a bar of things, like that can be hard to try to navigate, or people want to go out to eat and do all these things and you're like, we just did that yesterday. You know, it's like it can be hard. Yeah.
Yeah. It's true.
Anyways, why did I say that? Where do we go?
I don't know how we got on that track. I like it though. Okay. How are you?
You know what? I'm here.
I had duplex update. I didn't even let you answer. How are you?
I do feel like I was telling you a little off camera. The duplex is supposed to close this Friday, and I feel like I've just been in the state of holding my breath a bit. Like I don't think anything's going to go wrong, but at the same time, there's always this little voice of like, what if, what if, what if? So that's been a little bit overwhelming, but also we've gotten through all the major milestones, so it'd be shocking. And I feel good. We had spring break last week, so we didn't really do a ton. We did one kind of quick day trip where we stayed the night with our friends Carrie and Blue. I might have said this in the last episode.
At their hotel?
Not at their hotel. They have kind of like a timeshare place past Clay Ellum near Ellensburg, called it's like Canyon River Resort, something like that. It's on the Yakima River.
Cool.
So really pretty. Yes, past Suncadia. Kind of like take the lodge at Suncadia and plant that by the river. It's like that type of setting. So that was really fun. And then the rest of the time we just kind of hung out. I'll start because that kind of goes into my weekend.
Sweet.
Friday was still spring break. And so I took my girls and I got together with Denise and her girls, and we did like a whole girls day. And we went to the mall and the girls went shopping. And then we came back to my house and Denise did everybody's nails. And then her girls stayed the night and they went swimming. And they did another sleepover where they slept in my car again.
In the garage?
In the garage, which the thing that it does is it creates condensation inside my car.
Yeah.
So when I go to drive, it's wet on my windows inside.
Oh, weird.
It's gross.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
That's something I don't think I ever did that as a kid. I don't think I desired just as we slept on the trampoline. That was something we would do during the summer.
That's fun.
Just great memories, but not in the car.
I know. They're like really into it. I don't know why.
That's funny.
So anyway, it was just funny. But yeah, it was a nice it was just a nice day with them. My girls love Denise's girls, and so anytime they get to be together is a blast. So
nice.
So yeah, that was my Friday. Do you want to go over or you had like a whole weekend away? So how do you want to do this?
Get into it a little bit.
You want?
Have you been to Arizona before?
I did Scottsdale.
Okay.
A couple of years ago, probably like 5 years ago now.
Cool.
And I really liked it.
It's cool.
Yeah.
It's a great town.
Yeah. Were you in Old Town for a little bit?
So we flew in. I'll get us to Friday.
Okay.
So we flew in on last Tuesday. So basically, our friends
right. You
friend
had like a whole week.
had a whole week.
Mm-hmm.
Our friend had a bachelor party in Scottsdale, and we looked at flights like Thursday to Sunday when everybody else was going, but it was just like way cheaper to fly in on Tuesday.
Sure.
So we're like, let's just make a little bit of a longer trip of it.
Yeah.
So we flew in Tuesday. We stayed at a hotel called the Scott, which is like kind of a famous hotel in Scottsdale.
Okay.
It's the first time, I think, maybe not the first, one of the first times we've ever like booked, like wanted to stay at a specific hotel and booked that hotel. Like,
okay.
Usually when we travel, we'll try to use like points, like credit card points, or Brian he used to have a bunch of Marriott points from his like consulting days.
Okay.
So up to now, we would just like see what hotel was like lower in points, but still looked, nice.
Right.
So it was fun, specifically seeking out a hotel. Like I'd been before, and I'd walked by it before.
Okay.
Really want to stay at this hotel, and it was awesome.
Was it worth?
Very cool hotel.
Yeah.
Amazing lobby. Just like the beautiful. I'll show you pictures. It's amazing. Really nice pool. Great room. Yeah, it was awesome.
That's great. And you were there the whole week.
We were there for 2 nights.
So we did kind of. We moved. Your friends came.
We moved twice. We were at 3 different places.
Okay.
So first 2 nights at the Scott. We were still working those 2 days. So we were just like went to coffee shops or worked from the gym and stuff.
Yeah.
We were working. So the gym we go to in Bellevue, there's that same gym down in Arizona.
Oh wow.
So we're able to go for free, which was awesome.
Perfect.
That's way better in Arizona. The one in Bellevue is pretty small.
Oh.
The ones in Arizona are like incredible.
Because you love the one in Bellevue.
Yeah.
Wow.
But we love it because it's like nice, but it's lacking. There's no pool.
Oh sure.
There's no like. It's a smaller version of the bigger ones down there. So the one in Scottsdale, it's like 4 floors. The top floor is a rooftop pool.
Okay.
With like a beach club, so you can like order food and stuff there at the. It's incredible. So I was doing my my swim training. In like this beautiful rooftop outdoor pool, like overlooking Scottsdale. It was amazing.
Did you have a moment where you're like, should we?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and I'll get to that in a second on just like the investment property hunt.
Okay.
So yeah, we're there. I wrote down offer negotiation at gym. I think I sent you a voice message about this a few days ago.
Yes.
So craziest offer negotiation of my life, like most intense. Was happening while I was at the gym, and there were a lot of people around me. So I kept like walking outside. So literally probably 10 times I walked outside, I walked in, talking to the other agent, I was talking to my client, like trying to make it happen because this is like the 7th house these clients have offered on. And we got it accepted. It was
well done.
Yeah, one of the craziest offers and offer negotiation experiences I've ever had.
Yeah, and
I'm very happy for them.
That's great. Have you guys done inspection? Or did you waive?
Waived inspection.
There's nothing.
Yeah. So the there was a pre-inspection done by the seller.
Oh, awesome.
So felt good about that. So main thing is just basically that's all I'll say there. But I don't know. It's like this balance. Not that I'm saying their name, but I don't like want to like share too much about clients' experiences.
Sure. I hear you. I feel like missed opportunity where we're not actually on a real reality TV show, and like that would have been one of those scenes of like this is
100%. It was so intense, and the other agent
selling Seattle.
Yeah, other agent not great, and just like would not. I literally probably sent her 25 text messages she didn't respond to.
Unbelievable.
She would not respond to my text. Like even during the offer negotiation, like she wouldn't answer the call. So then I would text her like, "Here's her updated offer," because it was basically like, whatever. There's 3 other offers that she's negotiating with at the same time.
Okay.
And she's like, okay, and I talked to her. I'm like, what do we need to do to make this happen?
Yeah.
And she tells me, and then I call my clients. I'm like, here's what they're saying. Like, here's what we need to do. Basically, clients think about it.
Right.
One of my clients is asleep while it's happening because they work night shift. So it's this whole thing.
Yeah.
And they get back to me saying, we're going to do this. I try to call the agent to be like, hey, here's our updated offer terms. No response. Then I text her. No response. Meanwhile, she's like talking with the seller. And so it was a lot. It was a lot.
I think it's one of the hardest things when the other agent on the other side doesn't communicate.
No communication.
In the way. It's just unbelievable. It feels like to me, like I was telling you earlier, I feel scattered because there's like an email I haven't responded to.
Yeah.
And that's bothering me. And I'm like, how do other people let all of this communication go?
I want to show you the text later. I initially had reached out like a week earlier.
Yeah.
And I sent her, him or her, I sent them a, like,
undisclosed.
This is, my client's interested. Are you able to send me the inspection report? Do you have any offers? Basic intro text. She responded within 5 minutes. the letter H. And then I waited a few minutes. I'm like, okay, maybe she's gonna send a follow up. I waited probably an hour, and she didn't say anything else. And I said hi. I just sent another text. I'm like, did you mean to send that? And she said no, I didn't. And then I said, oh, okay, no worries. Like, did you see my questions above? No response. Nothing. And then I call her, I email her, nothing. Like, she's just the least communicative agent. Yeah. So, but we got it accepted, and we're moving towards closing.
That's what's important.
Yeah, we're moving.
That's what's important. Okay. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Very excited. So that let's see. That got us through. That was like Wednesday, Thursday we were working.
Okay.
And then Thursday we checked into the Airbnb that we were staying at for the bachelor party.
Yeah.
We were there Thursday through Sunday.
Okay.
Did you see any videos I posted? It was. I'm going to show you after.
Okay,
I have a lot of things.
do.
I have a lot of things to touch base with you on after we're done here. The most incredible Airbnb I've ever stayed at, experienced. Absolutely insane.
Okay.
Like a Spanish Tuscan style mansion with.
It blows my mind that you guys find these things. Like all the places you found in Palm Springs for potential wedding venues. Yeah. These, like, how did your friends find this place?
I don't know how they found this one. No, but it wasn't that bad. Like it was $500 a person for 3 nights total.
Okay.
Like, not that bad.
How many of you were there?
Probably 15 of us. So it was a good sized group, but
Gosh, you guys have a lot of friends.
Every single person had a bed. Like Brian and I had our own room.
Yeah.
Incredible house.
Yeah.
Like a huge pool, pickleball court, like a little putt thing.
It's fun.
And like a whole separate garage with like, foosball and games and stuff. The house itself was like, it was incredible. Like I'm like, I know for a fact that there's a lot of bachelor parties that happen. Or I don't know for a fact. I'm assuming that a lot of bachelorette parties happen at this house. Yeah. Geared towards that. But the house was in like amazing condition, like very like well maintained and kept up.
Right.
And yeah, it was amazing. I'll show you pictures because it was so cool.
I feel like I saw a few of your stories. I don't know if I realized you were actually at a home versus like a hotel or something.
It was pretty sweet. Okay, so we checked in Thursday night, and then let me just do the quick weekend recap. So we went golfing Friday, which was awesome. Did a little par three course, which I love.
Yeah.
We played some pickleball on the pickleball court. We sat in the pool. Somebody coordinated a private chef to come to the house. So one of the nights, it was awesome.
I want to be in your friend group.
It was awesome. One of the nights, the best man or one of the best men, coordinated for a private chef to come cook dinner at the house. It was a guy, and it was actually 2 people that came and cooked us dinner and served the food, and it was awesome.
What did they make you?
The food was okay, so I don't. It was that
is hilarious.
The experience was amazing. The food was okay. It was like a salad, and then main dish was like a risotto with steak. And it like looked really good, but it kind of tasted okay.
Yeah, okay.
Steak was okay. What else did we do? Mostly just hung out the house. Like that was.
I mean, rightfully so.
Yeah, I think we went into the weekend expecting it to be like crazier, like going out to bars all 3 nights and stuff. Thankfully, we wasn't that. We went out to one bar one night. Yeah. The rest of the time we just, we golfed, and then we stayed at the house and just hung out and had a lot of good conversations. And it was awesome.
Did I tell you about there is a mom from the school, and she posted a picture, and it was like her on whatever weekend away, and it was Girls Gone Mild. Did I tell you this? Oh my gosh. I was like, it was a picture of her on the couch with a blanket reading a book. And I was like, that's the best description of a weekend I could put together. Girls Gone Mild.
I love that.
And she said she'd done this for years with girlfriends, and they just get away and I'm assuming just do very calm, chill things.
Yeah. That was what was nice about it. It was like a relaxing bachelor party, which we were talking a little bit about, just the term bachelor party.
Yeah.
I think I haven't actually like verified this, but my assumption is even the term party, like it sounds like a one night thing. It doesn't sound like a whole weekend destination thing,
correct.
Which is what it has kind of turned into. Yeah. Like most bachelor parties, at least that I know of these days, are like you go somewhere for the weekend, multiple night thing.
Okay.
Which
originally that's different. That's not. I feel like even when I got married, like a night out was my bachelor party. Okay. We didn't go anywhere. We didn't stay. It was like literally an evening.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad for that evolution.
I do. I'm jealous. That's why I'm like, I want to be in your friend group. I want a private chef.
It was awesome.
Yeah. Great
weekend. I'll come back to Arizona in a second. But how was your Saturday?
Saturday, I wrote down that in the morning, Chad and I went for a walk, And when we got back, one of us didn't latch the gate all the way, and Stella got out. And it was one of those times where enough neighbors like noticed, and like we were getting phone calls and text messages. Oh, looks like Stella's out. And it's the worst because it's so embarrassing.
Yeah.
And there's nothing I can do, because if I go after her, she just runs
Yeah.
and she thinks it's a game. So she had rolled in something, like I could see she was really dirty.
Oh, man.
And so I was just waiting, and this was the last weekend we had access to the duplex. And so Chad's like, hey, I've got people coming where I'm like selling a bunch of our furniture, so I have to get over there. So he left to go do that. And eventually Stella came home. So it was like, okay, she's home. I trapped her in the gate. And then Piper and I went and met Chad at the duplex to help clean some stuff. We come back, and there is a full-on dead bunny by the gate. And I was like, did she feel guilty? You know, animals bring you other animals. It's like a
peace
sacrifice, peace offering, something. So I was like, no, like already she's filthy dirty. Now she's got this dead rabbit by her gate. So it was a little bit of an ordeal that day, but it's fine. I was only coming home to grab Allie because she was getting a haircut. So we like went around. I just told Chad, hey, as soon as you can, please get home and take care of our little friend here.
So did she just hang out in the yard?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I just keep her within, and it was nice and sunny over the weekend. It was a beautiful weekend.
Yeah.
And then, so I took Allie to get a haircut, and Pipes and I was trying to get my steps in. So Pipes and I just kind of walked around while we did that. And then we went back home that afternoon. The Masters was on this last weekend. I don't know if you know. I don't know if people are aware.
I was at a bachelor party with 15 men. I know.
Well, what a journey that was.
I didn't watch it. I did not partake.
Okay.
There was a group of probably 4 or 5 of us that were just sitting outside. But.
So 2 kind of big players, DeChambeau and McIlroy. Chad's a big McIlroy fan, so that was like his thing. DeChambeau's caddy, the caddy's sister is a friend of mine.
Oh,
and she was there with him. And
cool.
So there's this like tie to him that we were all kind of like, oh, this is exciting.
So it's a house divided. You were rooting for him.
I wasn't voting. I was like, I'm just here. And if I don't have to be, I prefer that. But I caught little glimpses, and then I think DeChambeau's gotten quite a big following now in social media. Okay. I think he's a bachelor, and so the ladies are really enjoying that.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, so that was some of the afternoon watching golf. And then Chad and I walked from our house over to Harbor Greens, and it was really nice. It was like just he and I. It was like such nice weather. We went and we grabbed some steaks to grill and some sides and stuff. And then we came back that night and had dinner. And I want to say the girls and we just did like maybe some games with them. Like we've been really enjoying dominoes.
Nice.
I really love being in a season where I can play games that I enjoy with my kids.
Yeah.
Not like
Shoots and ladders. Candyland.
Go fish. You know, it's like actually fun stuff. So pretty chill rest of the day for us on Saturday.
Nice.
And then Sunday was equally like a few little things, like going back to the duplex, trying to sell stuff. My parents came over for lunch, and we had toast me, which we love.
Love it.
And then we finished the Masters, very emotional. Chad was like, I mean, I've never seen him more emotionally invested in an event.
Yeah.
Besides, it was a big deal because he also won the other tournament. So is like a Grand Slam or something.
Oh, okay. Grand Slam.
Listen,
was it a big deal?
Fact check me on that.
Is that when like an actor gets an EGOT? They get all 4 things?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's exactly what it is. Good job. I think that's what they call it, but I don't really know.
I think I've heard that term before.
Yeah.
Grand Slam. Definitely in baseball.
I'll tell you what. I am going to divert a little bit, but I'm just realizing, and I will apologize publicly here now, that I am not a very, what's the word? Like, I don't pay attention very well.
Okay.
So here's what happened. I got Chad a hat for Christmas, and it's from True Links, which is a golf brand, and it's a corduroy hat, and it says "Enjoy the walk." And I was like, "Oh, this is perfect." He loves corduroy golf hats. Like, this is great.
Yeah.
So I get him this hat. Yesterday, I'm sitting next to him. The hat's on the table. He's got a hat on his head that's the exact same corduroy style, True Links, everything, just has a different saying. And I was like, "You have 2 of these hats?" And he's like, "I've had this one for years. You bought me that one for this Christmas." And I had no idea.
It's the exact same hat?
It's the exact same hat minus the saying.
Okay.
It's just a different phrase.
Yeah.
And I had absolutely clueless. So when we say things like, yeah, it was the Grand Slam or whatever, I'm like, I don't know because I don't pay attention.
Okay.
And
you're not very observant.
I'm observant.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not proud of that. I feel like I have other positive qualities.
100%. Yeah.
That's nice to be around. But one thing about me is I don't observe things. So like when people get haircuts or they lose weight, like I'm not, that totally beyond me.
Yeah.
But
I have to, I have to intentionally, I have to like put myself in the mindset of noticing those things or I don't notice those things.
Yeah.
Like
I just felt like he didn't, and he never said anything.
Yeah.
He wasn't like, hey, I already have this hat, right? Like he acted like it was the first time.
See, he's better than I am because if Brian got me something for Christmas that I already had, I would be like, I would roast him.
Yeah. He totally could have. Maybe this is me roasting myself for him. So, I'm trying to remember what else, if there was anything significant. Oh, Sunday we went and we played a little pickleball.
Nice.
We went to a park and it was crowded. It was like we were just doing an outdoor, using the tennis court. And so we had to wait a little bit, and then we only played like a little bit. I know, of course.
Waiting's the worst. I have my patience level has gone down.
It's like
as I get older.
To me, it is such a waste of my time. I like when I was waiting for my blood work yesterday. I think what the problem was, I don't mind if I know I'm going to be somewhere, then I'm prepared and I'll bring things. But I was not prepared yesterday, and it just the longer I sat there, the more I was like, I could have been doing this. I could have been that. Anyway, I think that's supposed to be my thing.
Okay.
Pickleball. Yep. Pretty calm, chill weekend.
Nice.
Yeah.
So Sunday we left the Airbnb and we checked into a different hotel, Hotel Adeline, I think it was called, to wrap up the trip. So we were there Sunday through Tuesday.
Okay.
And then Tuesday morning we woke up at 3 a.m. to make it to the airport. That was an early wake-up call. So that was yesterday. It was like a whirlwind of a week.
Right.
The last 2 nights we had an amazing dinner at a restaurant called Pomo. Found it on TikTok, went there. It was incredible. The last day, so Monday, we spent the day basically exploring Scottsdale and surrounding areas to determine if Arizona is going to be a contender for our future investment property, vacation home, short-term rental. So up to this point, we've been like really gung-ho on Palm Springs.
Yeah.
But we've also been like, Arizona could also be another great option.
Right.
It's cheaper. It's,
like real estate's cheaper?
Real estate's cheaper. Taxes are cheaper.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like a house that's, let's say, $400,000 in Arizona would be like $650 in Palm Springs. So it's significantly more expensive. We really like, also beginning of the trip, like so the day we got there, this was one of our points of conversation.
Okay.
I'm like, I was kind of really rooting for Arizona. I'm like, there's more, it's bigger. Like it's a lot bigger than Palm Springs.
Right.
There's, more different areas and pockets.
Yep.
The gym thing, like we love the gyms in Arizona. The ones in Palm Springs are okay.
Okay.
There's other, it's cheaper. There's other factors. Right? That last day was really just to be like, to really make a decision together. Like, is this an area we want to consider, or do we want to what do we want to do?
Okay.
And we decided we want to focus on Palm Springs.
Oh.
Yeah. It just, I don't know. It just feels.
What a twist. It's like
Brian the whole week was saying that. He's like, I just like Palm Springs better. And I was like, let's be open-minded. Like, let's give it a chance.
What do you feel like it was?
It's really hard to, I don't actually know.
Okay. Can I be honest about Arizona?
Yeah.
I loved Scottsdale, Old Town. Like I have such fond memories of that experience. I remember getting to the airport and driving from wherever we flew into, I couldn't even tell you, to wherever we're going. And I was like, ooh, just brown and flat. And no offense, Arizona, but I was just like, there was not an appeal to me in any of the landscaping, of the even, Does that make sense?
Makes sense, yeah.
So I think there were some great spots and there's some really cool things, but I remember thinking like, I don't know. And not that we would ever live there permanently. I love the snowbird idea, but for me, I remember thinking like, oh, it's just, there's something. And I felt a little similarly about Florida.
Oh, really?
There were some parts where I was just like, I don't know.
It's very spread out in Arizona.
Yeah,
like it's every little neighborhood's like 15, 20-minute drive from each other.
Right.
Which isn't a big deal. But so like the Scottsdale area, like the main Scottsdale area is where we would want to be if we were there. And we liked it. Like we really, there's kind of like a newer development area with like, high-end restaurants and a big mall area. It's called Fashion Square.
Okay.
And then there's like entertainment district with like the bars and clubs and stuff. And then there's more like an Old Town area, which Old Town area is the cutest, but it's more like old Western town, which is fine. But like more like mid-century modern vibe of Palm Springs appeals to us a bit more.
Yeah.
That's one factor. Palm Springs is a very gay friendly town. Like we feel very comfortable holding hands there. Like which not that we felt uncomfortable in Arizona, but just knowing a little more of the political climate in Arizona makes us like it made us think twice before like being and we don't like PDA in general, but like Palm Springs is just like it's so it's like so gay friendly that we're just like we're very comfortable there, and it's just like it's hard to put a pin on it, but like it feels more our vibe than Arizona does.
I couldn't imagine like not feeling like, even if you felt comfortable but not 100% comfortable. That's a big deal.
It's just like Arizona is like there's a kind of like Austin, Texas, right? Where it's like Texas is a very conservative state. And, there's a lot of people, I don't know, we don't need to go too far down this rabbit hole, but Arizona is like very like 50-50, like Maricopa County or whatever is where, is like one of the big swing counties for the presidential election. So it's like very much like 50-50. And not that like all people who vote Republican are anti-gay, like that's definitely not a thing, but it's just in general there's a feeling in Palm Springs where we're like we feel like we can be entirely ourselves here, and it's a good feeling.
I thought it was going to be the architecture.
That's another big one.
And you did say mid-century modern, but I just think when I think of Arizona too, I think of that specific home style, and like that's never been one you guys have said you're super interested
100%. Yeah, even just like looking on Redfin, like the houses in Palm
I was going to say,
Springs,
did you actually look at any?
We did,
property? Okay.
We didn't. Well, we drove by some stuff, but everything in Arizona, like everything feels more cookie cutter and less like unique. Whereas in Palm Springs, there's some really cool mid-century houses and like Tuscan style houses that we love. So our kind of new approach or our new thing, like, so Palm Springs, we feel good about Palm Springs. We really want to be close to downtown Palm Springs. What we've been looking for up to this point is like a house, right? Like a standalone house with a pool. What we found is those are very expensive. Like to find something even remotely close to what we want is going to be $700, $800 minimum, which we're like don't feel ready to do anytime soon. And when you have a private pool, we talked to somebody down there with a private pool. During the winter months, it costs, the person we talked to said it costs them about $1,000 a month to, for the water, for the gas or whatever, to heat the pool. What else? Chlorine, maintenance, everything. It's like a huge expense. So like if we were to instead buy something within an HOA that has a community pool, that's just included within the cost. So what we're looking for now, and I find like we're finally on the same page about this, I think, is a lot more. Let me rewind. I'm kind of mixing my words up today, but that's okay. So one of the benefits of like a standalone house is that we can short-term rental it. Like most of them, unless it's within, there's certain areas where you can't, but most of the single family houses you can short-term rental.
But even within those, aren't they pretty strict?
Yeah, they're strict. There's a lot of restrictions on it. What we are realizing is that if we were to do like a condo within an HOA, we're able to find something like in the 300 to 400 range, which feels way more digestible for us. And it has a community pool, so we don't have to worry about pool heating costs. And most of them allow at least like 1 month rentals. Which a lot of people are looking for down there. Like they might want to stay there for 3 months or 2 months or whatever. So we'd still have the ability to do that. Some of them even allow like week rentals. So they just don't allow like 1 or 2 nights, but they allow a week at a time.
It's like a minimum week is what you're saying.
Most of them are minimum month, but there are some that are minimum week. So that's what we're looking for now, is something in that sub 400 price range, a condo in a cool community, like walking distance to downtown Palm Springs.
I love it.
Timeline, no idea.
Listen,
but Brian was messaging a real estate agent who lives in Palm Springs, who we met before, and I'm just like, he asked us like, what's our timeline? I'm like, we're stringing this guy along.
Yeah.
Every time we send him a house, like, and I'm saying this from a real estate agent's perspective,
Totally.
anytime we send this guy a house, he's researching it. He's probably calling the listing agent.
Right.
He's going on the MLS. He's pulling the docs. All that stuff. And I'm like, we got to stop sending him houses we're interested in, because like until we're actually ready, which we're not there yet.
That's very kind of you.
We gotta be considerate of his time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, well that's exciting.
So that was the big takeaway from Arizona.
So those were the only two you're considering. Arizona and Palm Springs. Those were the only two areas.
Yeah.
Not San Diego.
It's just so much more expensive.
Yeah.
Like we're trying to be realistic, and we just love Palm Springs.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the area.
Okay.
And we're getting married there.
Listen.
Speaking of which, wedding update.
Speaking which,
send out invites finally.
I mean,
finish the little website.
Adorable.
Thank you.
We are so excited.
Yes, we are too. It's final. We've been like needing to get to this point for so long. There's obviously a lot of details to figure out still, but just like place booked, most of the weekend figured out.
The itinerary.
Invites out. Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Thank you.
We're so excited.
It'll be a great weekend.
So when you messaged and you were like, do you want to bring the kids? Yes or no? You know, and Chad and I were like, oh, wait. Well, we were talking about it in the car and we're like, yeah. So, and then, Ryan Austin's wedding and the girls were like, oh, when are we going? And I was like, oh no, you're not going. So I hate to break it to you, but we put the blame on you guys. And
okay. Like, that's fine.
You're
no
not
kids.
Invited. And I was like, that's family. So if they look at you harshly the next time they see you,
okay, that's fine.
Because you're the mean person.
That's okay. I'll take it. I'll take the blame.
Chad and I were like, I know it sucks. You guys are so bummed. We wanted you to be there. It's totally your fault. Yeah. No, that's kind of
your parents could bring them down.
Yeah. We need somebody to stay with the dogs too.
Yeah, for sure. So blame the dog. Blame it on Stella.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of parenting.
Okay.
I'm kind of going through the ringer with it right now. I don't know what you had left to talk about.
That's it.
But I'm going to shift gears. Middle school sucks.
Yeah.
I'm going to just put that out there. It's been a roller coaster of emotion since day one. We went to DC when Alice comes back, and there was like this kind of weird, it was like when she was in DC, the first couple of days, I was getting phone calls every night that there was drama.
Yeah.
It was very disheartening, blah, blah, blah. And I'm really trying to just be encouraging and just say, like, you got to let it roll off your back. You're across the country. You have no parents with you. Like, just go have fun. Like, have fun. Like, that's all I'm trying to, like, just don't get bogged down by the drama. And so then the next few days, it was like really positive, and she was making new friends, and she comes home, and then we go into spring break. And then over spring break, she's talking to the new group, and she's so excited. We get together a few times with people. And then we started school this week, and she comes home and she finds out she's been uninvited to a birthday party, which is just such a mean thing. It's like she had been invited. The birthday party was next month. It's like a ways out.
Uninvited?
And then, so this is how they did it. So they send out a group text like, you're invited, blah, blah, blah. And then they get back from the trip. And then there's a text in that message or in that group that just says, hey guys, unfortunately, I'm going to have to cancel my birthday party, blah, blah, blah. There's like not really a reason.
Okay.
And then, and Allie didn't respond, didn't say anything. She's just like, oh, bummer, so-and-so canceled the party. And then when she went back to school, she found out, oh, the party's not canceled. I just was uninvited along with a few other girls, and the party's still happening. So it's just like such a bummer. Like it just is like, I don't know what I'm looking for in this aside from just like venting, but yeah.
Any reason why? Like
because of the drama in DC. Apparently the girl who, and I don't even think this child was really involved in it, but for whatever reason, it's like it just feels like that's gonna be traumatic. Like, I feel like
hard.
that sticks with you,
yeah,
like having that moment. So I'm trying to just play it cool, because this is the other thing, is like not getting super emotional in her emotions, you know, like I want to be like grounded, and I want to have like a 42-year-old perspective of life and not try to pretend to be a 13-year-old, because I really want to just like jump on Allie's phone and like me message this girl. That's like what I want to do. And I'm like, no,
call her mom.
Probably not right. Yeah. Did you know? Yeah. It's just, and I think part of it too is like, I was trying to think like in my childhood, like what that would have equated to, because
Mm.
we didn't have that opportunity. I mean, I guess they would have phone called,
Yeah.
and said, hey, my party's been canceled. And then
Yeah.
you find out at school it still happened
Yeah.
or something. I don't know. But it's not a bummer.
That's a bummer. That sucks. That's not a good feeling.
So, and then it's just trying to navigate those.
It wasn't just her though. There were other people that were also
There was, like,
uninvited.
2 other girls.
Okay.
Yeah.
The 3 of them should just hold the best party ever.
100%.
Invite everybody else.
Yeah. Maybe we'll go to that Airbnb in Arizona. Just kidding. I know. It's so hard. And it's really tricky as a mom to not instinctively want to do something like that.
Yeah.
Like, part of me is like, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
going to like show this girl,
Be
and then
vindictive.
I'm like, whoa, no, that's not. And I'm always trying to preach to my girls, like, you just never know somebody's story,
Yeah.
right? Like, you don't know what's going on in their life. And so not assuming something about them, but it still is just a hard thing to navigate.
Yeah, that's tough.
And yeah, I'm like, and the girls that she's been spending a lot of time with, I don't even know if they're going to be at the school next year.
Mm.
And so I'm like, there's just a part of me that's feeling worried about just those relationship pieces. But again, like, what can you do?
Yeah.
I can't force that.
Yeah.
So I had a moment last night where I was trying to have a conversation, just see how she was doing. And I think for me, the hardest thing, because I think we've talked about this with parenting, is like not feeling the control.
Mhm.
And like, I'm not in every room where she's dealing with things. I'm not at the lunch table when there's stuff happening. So I'm just trusting what she's telling me
Yeah.
is truth. And
Yeah.
and I'm sure there's multiple sides to these stories. But I just had to have like, I just was like, I wanted to so badly be like, this is what you should do. This is what
Yeah.
you should do. Try this. And I just think my best move right now is to be supportive and listen, but like kind of hands off
Yeah.
the situation
Yeah.
and just let her figure it out.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
If it's helpful at all, I had a really bad freshman and sophomore year of high school.
Okay.
Like I went from a middle school where I felt like I had got a lot of friends,
Yeah.
and then I went to a different high school, and I felt like I had like pretty much no friends, and I was like, I entered this school where everybody had known each other for 10 years, and I
Yeah.
was like the new kid that I had a really hard time finding my people there,
Yeah.
and it was hard,
Mhm.
but I got on the other side of it, and
Yeah.
I, did Running Start, and I made a lot of friends, and I feel like it was just a really rough patch period that like didn't last forever.
Yeah.
Like
Yes,
there's always good on the other side, but it's hard when you're going through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is 100%. And I remember like, because I went to the same school, similar to what the school that my girls are at, like a kindergarten through high school
Yeah.
setup. There was different campuses for
Right.
middle school and high school. But and I remember my best friend from elementary school, we had a little separation, falling out in middle school, and then kind of reconnected in high school, and we're best friends again. So I was reminded of that and told out, like, you just never know. There's friends that kind of come and go. And then in my later years as an adult, I've made new friends. I've moved. I've made
Yeah.
new friends and new communities. So trying to just encourage, yeah, exactly that. This is not the end all be all in this one
Right.
moment. So yeah, that was like my one other thing of, I was just like, gosh, parenting, and we've talked about this, how it's hard and it's
Yeah.
tricky, but yeah, just a little bit of a gut punch this week with that friend thing.
Well, it's nice you can come home to a safe house, like a
Yeah, I
warm,
hope
welcoming
so.
home, and
Yeah,
hopefully that's encouraging for her just to be around
right.
a positive,
I mean,
uplifting family.
There's a beautiful thing with her and Piper that I've really started to like witness more and more of their friendship.
Yeah.
And it's something I didn't grow up with a sister. I just, to me, I keep getting reminded of that friendship of like, that is going to be lifelong.
Totally.
Like they
Yeah.
are going to be, and obviously there's times where they fight and they don't get along, but there is a majority of the time where they are two peas in a pod, and it just warms my heart that they have each other. So yeah.
Totally.
Anyways. Okay, well,
On that note,
60 in the books.
happy 60th. My mom turned 60 in a month.
In
In exactly a month is her 60th birthday.
Speaking of your mom,
We have a meeting with her
let's go
10
walk.
minutes ago.
Oh my gosh. Again, running late.
All right. Thank
Okay,
you, Jamie.
bye.